Hello, beautiful people. Most of you know me as the actress who played the mom in Steven Spielberg's blockbuster hit, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. At this point in my career, I've done almost 200 movies, 5 television series, and almost 400 commercials. You could say, in every sense of the word, that I'm successful. I also have a teaching degree from the University of Kansas, and I've taught high school as well as in my own drama and dance studios. And when I put all of these sides of me together, and all my accomplishments, one thing stood out. I was still being driven by a feeling of being incomplete. This need obviously created a life of professional success, but not personal happiness. And I wanted to know why. I've also been, for the last 25 years, an intuitive life coach and helped thousands of my clients unravel the mysteries as to why they can't create the lives they want. So I wanted to know why I was still being driven in this way. For myself, my daughter, and for all the people I was guiding. And the answer was that I just didn't love myself. I didn't love myself unconditionally, like I love my daughter, heck, like I even love my dog. And I didn't love myself unconditionally because I was in battle with my little girl. This is Deanna Bowers at around age 4. I came in, as we all do, as a very bright light. I looked like Shirley Temple, and I loved to dance. My family was extremely poor, and my mother started me modeling at a very early age to help pay the bills. My mom was a secretary and a really beautiful actress in local theater in Kansas City. My dad was a dreamer and a salesman. But most of all, he was an alcoholic. He couldn't hold down a job, and the care of my family fell to my mother and grandmother, both incredibly strong, God-fearing women. At the age of 16, my father committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. Now, this took a terrible toll on my mother's health. I remember her going to doctors constantly to make sure everything was okay. The fear that she would not be able to take care of all of us was palpable. We never had enough money, and I was the one chosen to go to the front door when the bill collectors came. One of my earliest distinct memories was of this big, scary man with a black mustache leaning over me, shaking his finger at me, saying, "You better tell your mom and dad to pay the rent, or you're not going to have a house to live in." Last year, my bank called me to tell me that my mortgage was up, and in 2 months, it would triple. Triple. Now, obviously, that's enough to put anybody into reaction, but my reaction was a little overblown and dramatic. I went into a full-blown panic attack. I couldn't breathe, and my heart was palpitating. And thank goodness for my work, because I knew I had to calm myself down and become objective. And I directed myself to understand what this reaction was really about. And the first thing that I saw was that big, scary man. You see, my little child had taken over my adult self in fear. And that's the button that got pushed. What if I can't pay my mortgage and I won't have a house to live in? I share this glimpse of how my childhood runs my adult self, so hopefully I can equate for you how maybe our little child is helping create or not create the life we want now. As a child, we're taught in 3 distinct ways. Direct verbal teachings. Mine was, you don't need more than you need, and you have to work really hard for that. And it's better to be humble than to be one of them, AKA the rich people. 2, modeling of behavior that we observe. No matter how drunk or abusive my father became, my mother chose to stay with him and save him. And 3, those erroneous beliefs that we put together all by ourselves, whether they're based in fact or not. Mine was that I have to take care of everybody, or everybody dies. And of course, if everybody dies, then who takes care of me? According to Molly McElroy from the Institute for Learning and Brain Science, our findings suggest that self-esteem, feeling good or bad about yourself, is fundamental. By age 5, children have a sense of self-esteem comparable in strength to that of adults. The section of a child's brain that is connected to self-esteem and self-love is in place by 5 years old. 5 years old. Well, it all started making sense to me. I hadn't been fighting the world. I had been fighting myself. No matter how much I did, I couldn't appreciate my accomplishments. I couldn't allow myself to feel fulfilled, because then I would have felt that I'd made it. I couldn't acknowledge I had enough money. I wouldn't be still working hard and struggling, and I would be one of them. We have to become conscious of these messages that are running us and say, no, this is what I want now. I will reparent my little child. I will retrain me. We must go to our hearts first to feel our true desires, and then tell our mind to direct our brain to focus only on the manifestation of what we want, integrated with our little child on one common ground. So, cut to Deanna Bowers becoming Dee Wallace, star in a mega blockbuster hit. Aren't I cute? I went into fight or flight. I was panicked again. I felt like I didn't deserve everything that was happening to me, or most of the people that it was happening with. And at the same time, I felt like I didn't deserve what they were paying me. I was incensed that they weren't paying me what I knew I was worth. My little girl in battle with my adult self. Our little children are running the show of our creation, and they are usually in opposition to what we want now. They're trying to protect us through their fears and their false teachings and their limiting beliefs and what they witnessed. And we need to reparent them and bring them back to what we want to manifest now. When we integrate with our little child, we create magnificently and completely. When we are integrated, we are in full control of our creative self. We need to be on common ground with our little people. So I began listening to my little girl and seeing what she'd been taught and the messages that she had received and how they were shaping my life, relationships. I have been married 4 times to lovely men, all of whom, in one way or another, I had to take care of. And what was modeled to me? Strong women must rise up to take care of their men. Success. I wanted it to come easily and consistently. But what was taught to me verbally was the harder you work, the better person you are. So don't create a life of ease because you won't be worth as much. Were you told that you could create everything you want easily? Money. I always wanted way more than enough, so I didn't have to worry about those pesky bill collectors. And what was taught to me? Money is the root of all evil. And besides, if you have enough of it, you won't keep working hard and you won't keep struggling for it, and then you won't be humble and you'll be one of them. What religious or societal beliefs might be running your creation of money and health. I ate well and exercised and addressed my spiritual growth all my life. A few years ago, I woke up to the realization that I was going to a lot of doctors to check things out and make sure they were okay. Sound familiar? OMG, I thought, I have become my mom. And when did this happen? At exactly the time that society tells us we're getting old. Timed perfectly to ignite all those memories that my little girl was holding on to so diligently about my mom. Do you believe that you can be healthy and vital until you make your transition? I'm telling you, my beautiful people, you are special and talented and able and more powerful than you know. If you want insight into how to expand, get to know your little child. Go back to the age of 6 through conception and see what was going on in your family. What messages were you given? What fears? What false beliefs and perceptions about the world? What did you witness? And how are those things in conflict with what you want and who you want to be right now? Love yourself enough to get to know your little child and integrate with them so that you are speaking with one voice to the universe. Let's be the bright lights of wholeness that we can be. Let's open our hearts to the greatness of who we are and be free. Thank you.